I've been canning for quite a few years, and I'm always watching videos of other people's canning just for inspiration. And my daughter keeps on telling me, Mom, you should do it. So I just decided I'll just do it and put it out there for anybody that wants to use my videos for inspiration. So today I'm going to make some salsa. I'm using canned diced tomatoes. In the past, I grew lots of tomatoes, and I said, oh, I'm going to make pasta sauce and salsa and have enough, but it takes a whole lot of tomatoes and to make enough salsa that you need for your family if you have a family that likes to eat it all the time, and a whole lot of tomatoes to make spaghetti sauce and your tomato soups and your tomato bases for a lot of your foods. And so, yes, I do have a garden and I grow my own tomatoes, but it'll never be enough of what I need. So for salsa, I have started using cans, and that's just what I do. So, okay, I'm going to come over here and take you to my kitchen in just a bit. I apologize for the lighting in my camera, but I only have a little tablet, and that's what I'm using. So, right now, I'm chopping up cilantro. And this recipe is just a made-up one. You can do, when it comes to salsa, you can do anything you want. Put anything in it. You just have to make sure your acid level is low enough if you're going to water bath. So when I first started doing this, I would take pH strips just to make sure. And that's something that gave me confidence in knowing how much of your acid that you need. And you can mix your acids. You can do your lemons and your vinegars and your limes. You can mix it up with however ratio you want. It just needs to be high enough to be able to water bath. So, and you just want low pH. So you can trust me, but it's always good to test it yourself, because I make this up as I go along and I put whatever I want in it. So these are the canned diced tomatoes I'm using, and I chose salsa style just because if you do regular dice, you have to, put an immersion blender in there and chop it up a little bit more, which you can do, but this just makes it a little bit easier for me, so I don't have to do that. Okay, and I'm going to be canning in 1.5 jars, and when you do 1.5 jars, you can the quart times. So, and I got a big giant bag of onions at the grocery store. It's huge, like this big. It's huge, and it was only $9. So that means I'm making lots of salsa and lots of other things that call for onion right now. Okay, let me get to chopping some onions and I'll be back. All right. So I chopped up a bunch of onions, and I like a lot of onion in my salsa, so you might not, you don't have to put as much, you can put however much onion you want, but I average about 5 onions, large onions, per can, and I'm using 3 cans. 1, 2, 3. And then I shall be cutting up some jalapenos now. And, I'm not much for measuring. I don't measure very good. So, I just do to taste mostly. I apologize. I can't give you exact numbers, but I'd say about 2 pounds of jalapenos I'm going to add in there because I like it spicy. This is a whole lot, so it really won't be that spicy. Jalapenos aren't that spicy to me. But, you can substitute bell peppers or put a mixture of peppers. Is whatever your heart's desires. And however you like the taste of salsa. if I were you, I'd maybe start off with a small batch and taste it. See if that's how you like it before you commit to a big giant batch. But I've made salsa for years now, and this is just, once you get it down, you just kind of just throw everything together, you know what I mean? I never wear gloves, and I always regret it. But you know, I find that if I rub my hands in oil instead of water afterwards, it takes away the spice a lot easier. And I started doing that because I do make a lot of medicinal things that use oil as a carrier oil, and oils absorb tannins. Figured that out and put it on my hands, and sure enough, it worked. Took away the spice off my hands. I mean, it's still there for a little bit, but better than water. So I just can't stand gloves. I just, the texture, I just wash my hands real well and go on from there. And my family's the one that's eating this, and it's getting cooked, so it's not a big deal. Alright, I got all of these in my little ninja chopper thingy. I'll be spinning this up, then add these, and then I will add a bunch of garlic. And the garlic, you know, you can either add the whole cloves, which is, I think I'm going to save these for my spaghetti sauce, because it's a lot of work and labor intensive. And salsa, you can get away with just the store-bought minced garlic, and I think that's just what I'm going to do. I'm going to go get it out of the fridge and put that in there. Put a bunch of that store-bought minced garlic in there. It'll be just fine. And then we just got to add our acids and our spices, and I'll be getting those out in just a jiffy. So I'm going to pause you real fast. Alright, so I got my big pot over here. I'm bring it on over here. Okay, now I have just a couple, like 3 or 4 bushels of cilantro chopped up. I just chop that up by hand. I just like it in big chunks, you know. I like it in big old chunks in there. You can chop it up small or big, doesn't matter. Here's my peppers and onions. I'm going to pour it on in here. It's a lot of pepper and onion. It cooks down though. Cooks down real good. There we go. So let's see. We got our... Let's do our garlic. I'm going to do the minced garlic here. And again, I don't measure, and I'm sorry. I just, you know, it's all to taste. So, if you want measurements, go get a cookbook. If I made a cookbook, it'd just be like, handful of this. But that's just what I do. Alright, so, like, I got a big spoon, big serving spoon. And I'm going to plop 1, 2, 3. So I have 3 cans of tomatoes. I think I'll do 3 big teaspoons, or big spoons, serving spoons of this garlic per can. Because you can never have enough garlic. 1, 2, 3. And then another 1, 2, 3. Good. Alright, so get my can opener out of this drawer right here. And we're going to do the diced tomatoes. Salsa cut, so I don't have to do any extra cutting. But any old diced tomatoes will do ya. I'm going to do about a cup of acid,
let's just say per can of tomatoes I added. So I'm going to do 2 cups of apple cider vinegar and just one of these limes. I like the lime flavor. I'm going to add that to here. And I also added a handful of black pepper, like a little palm full right here of black pepper, and a palm full of red chili powder and cayenne. And just threw it in there. And now I'm going to add my cider vinegar. Right here, I got 2 German Shepherds. There you have 2 German Shepherd doggies, a boy and a girl. And so they wander around the house, in and out. So, spice-wise, we have pepper, salt, red pepper, chili pepper, that's the cayenne pepper, and we got some onion powder and garlic powder in here. And it tastes really good. Oh, and cumin. And I just put a bunch in to taste, like just a good, like palm full probably of each thing. Taste it. If it needs more, add more. I added the acids. It should be enough acid. And then now, what I'm going to do, so good. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to get some tomato paste, I think. Thicken it up a bit because it's a little juicy, which is fine, but I want it a little bit thicker. So we're going to add some tomato paste. And then we'll get to canning. And I'm pausing now again. I keep on pausing. I'm using Tattler lids with this. And I put boiling water in my Tattler lids. Now, I've used these several times. And when you reuse them, you have to make sure you get them really clean. So use a washcloth like this, and really hot soapy water, and rub around your rubber gaskets and then your lids really good. Wash them, rinse them, then put them in a bowl with hot water. I add a little vinegar in it. And they're soaking in this really, really hot water, boiling water, waiting for me to start canning. So, I got some tomato paste I want to add. I'm going to add 3 of these little things because it's just a little bit runny. My salsa, it looks really good, but it's just a little bit runny. So, I don't know, can you see? I can't move the camera because I don't know. Let me put, it's good. It looks real good, right? See, but see that juice running off? I just want it a little bit thicker. Just a little bit thicker. Tastes really, really good. It has good flavors. I open this can up. Here we go. Open this can up. I got my jars in my water bath. Let me turn the heat back on. It was getting a little too hot. Just heating up, warming up a bit. You don't have to disinfect your jars if you're going to be water bathing for more than 10 minutes. So they're just really clean. I wash my jars after every use and put them in the cabinet upside down so they pretty much stay clean. And I just, you know, rinse them a little if I need to. And then I have metal canning lids, but you know, especially with tomatoes and salsa, so I use the Tattler lids mainly on tomatoes, any tomato products, because you can recan those easily if the lid doesn't take. Because the more you can a tomato, the healthier it gets, actually. And I also do it with my beans because I'm running out of chili, right? And so I'm going to can up some regular beans, some refried beans, some black beans, some all the beans I want to can up, I'm going to use the Tattler lids. And then whatever does not seal, because I always have a couple that don't, it's just how it is. I've been using them for 2 years now. But whatever doesn't seal, I just turn into chili. And then I can that, because that's labor intensive. I just use regular lids on that. Your tin lids just seal a lot better without any corkiness, especially with chilies. For some reason, chili unseals on me. So I just do that. All right. Let's add this tomato paste in there. Sorry, I had to get something. There we go. And just give a little bit more thickness to it and color too. I tried canning tomato paste from my garden one year. It was a few years back. And it took every single tomato I grew to make like 3 cans of this. So, the things I can everything, right? And I don't buy canned foods, but there's a few exceptions. I do buy canned tomato paste, and I do buy canned tomato sauce, because those things would take every single tomato I could ever grow and barely cover what I need. I mean, I could do it in a pinch, and then sparsely use it, I guess, and you just make sure you just don't get any with preservatives and all that jazz in there. And as you know, I'm using canned tomatoes. I'll use canned tomatoes for my salsa all the time. I don't ever want to be peeling tomatoes again. And then I don't even have enough tomatoes. But my garden tomatoes, which I grow tomatoes every year, I will use for like my salads, my jarred salads I make. I use them for fresh salsa. We'll do fresh salsa in the summer. That's good. And use it for sandwiches. I'd much rather use my fresh ones that I grow for all those little needs. All right. So we're going to stir that in here and mix that in real good. And then we're ready to start jarring up once I get this mixed in. Takes a little bit of elbow grease. This is a giant pot. I don't even know how big this pot is. It's pretty big. Pretty big. This is the first year my daughter's not at home. And my son's been gone for almost 3 years now, my oldest son. So, it's still hard to go from cooking huge meals to just trying to cook a little bit, and I just can't do it. So, good thing I can, because I can can most of it up, or freeze leftovers, but so I just don't know how to cook small. But this salsa, my youngest loves salsa to snack on. That's like his favorite snack, so he'll have like a jar every 2 days. So this will last me maybe half a year, and then I'll have to do it again. Alright, I think I may have to take a whisk to it. Can't get the dang whisk out. I can't get the whisk out. My kitchen is a working kitchen. If you know what that means it is not going to be spotless, but it'll be sanitary. So I sanitize, I clean up, but I got something going on all the time. So is not going to be like your model kitchen. It's my country kitchen. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? Alright. I think we got it. I think I got it. Okay. That's some cilantro stuff in there. Alright, so let's get our jars and start jarring up. I'll get one jar out, show you, and then I'll pick up from after I jar everything, okay? So let me get my, where's my, well, it'd be nice if I found my, okay, let me just pause you while I find my jar lifter. Here, getting warm in this water. So yeah, we'll do a couple jars for you. Pint and a half, and we're doing it for quart times, and that's 20 minutes water bath. So, according to my recipe book, 20 minutes water bath. Alright, so we're gonna bring it on over here. Oh, big old pot. Okay. Let me wash this off real fast with this paper towel. Make sure it's clean. I used it earlier. There we go. Okay. So let's, let me taste it one more time to make sure it's good. We'll taste it with this. Here, let's show you. You can see the consistency looks good. Put more to flavor there, but it thickened it up real nice. Not too thick, you don't want it too thick. Okay, let me taste it one more time. Oh, that's good. Good. A little spicy, a little salty. Add them. Add it to my jar. I'm gonna leave 1 inch headspace. 1 inch headspace, and that's usually the first ring. With Tattlers, you have to leave 1 inch, no matter what. So if you got a little more, then take it out. So you gotta have that 1 inch with Tattlers, no matter what the recipe says. Okay, got 2 jars going here. Okay, a little more in there. Okay, so on this side, I'm gonna just do 3 jars for you, and then I'll come back after I put them in the water. Well, actually, yeah, let me tighten those lids up for you and show you how I do that, how we roll with that, huh? A little bit of vinegar. Rub the rim. Make sure it's clean. Okay, and then we're gonna grab our Tattler lids. Let me get my tongs. I put my tongs way over here. I don't know why I did that. There we go. They're on the other side of the kitchen. Okay. I'll grab these tongs. Okay, 1 lid. Put it on. Center it. Let me get my bands. I have my bands in my drawer here. Okay. I'm going to dip the bands in the hot water too, just get it warm up. Warm up a bit. I like to do that. Alright. Okay. Get on. Put my finger right there to hold it centered. And then I just go until it stops, like that. And then just a bit more. Because if you don't do that a little bit more, they pop off. But you don't want to do it too tight or it'll pop off too because you have no vent. So that should be just right. Alright. Do another one. Center it. Put the rubber lid on. Big finger right there to keep it from moving. Oops, that one seems a little rough there. There we go. It turns and then I hold it and I tighten it just a little bit more. Keep it from, oh, see that didn't work out. Make sure we don't have two gaskets, which I did. These little suckers, you gotta watch out for that. See, that's little, I've done that a couple times and then I come to the end and I find I'm missing a gasket and I have to retake them all out to find the dang gasket. So try to save yourself some time and watch for that. Alright, here we go. Now, a little bit there. There we go. Put that in there. Then on to the next one. My water's cooling down so I can use my hands. Alright, put that on. Center it. Hold it. Turn. When it's rough, I just try to redo it to make sure I get enough turns. Okay, like that, and then turn it just a little bit more. Alright, I'm going to put you on pause while I do the rest. Okay, so I got them all in the water bath canner right over here. And I'm going to set them in. There we go. If I can get them in. Oh, you know what? I got one too many. One too many. Take that one out. Looks like it'll fit, but with these things, sometimes. Oh, thank goodness I did that because one popped off already. Alright, let's try it again. Let's get them in. A water bath canner. There. Hopefully it all goes good. I won't stalls all over that water. This one came off. I'm gonna dip it in this hot water real fast. Wash it. I think it just popped off when I was lowering it and I got hooked on the side of the pot. Well, it might have been good that that happened. Okay, so I'm going to bring this to a rolling boil. And then once it's boiling, we will start the timer for 20 minutes. And then I'll come back after it's done. Okie dokie. It's been boiled in there for 20 minutes. I shut the heat off, let it rest, and cool down a bit for about another 10 minutes. Now I'm going to take them out. Hopefully they all sealed. We're gonna have to get a rag to tighten down those Tattler lids as we take them out here. So let's see. My water looks clean, so that's a good sign. There's one. Two. And what I do is I take a few out before I start tightening it. Give it time to evacuate any extra air. 3. And so I'll do 3 and then I'll tighten this one. So tighten it real good, as much as you can. You can't, my camera angle is not very good. So you just take it and you twist and tighten it down, ratchet. And do the next ones. Tighten that. It's really good headspace. I don't have any siphoning. It looks really, really good. Looks really pretty. My lighting is just so horrible. But use what you have, huh? Next one. Tighten these ones down. Maybe I can, if I get a better angle, it might fall, my camera might fall. So I'm tightening these ones down. My face, I'm tightening face. Okay. Tighten these ones down. 2 more to get out. They already look like, so with Tattlers, the plastic seal, like at the top, it bows down. So you can pretty much tell if you're going to get a seal based on it. You can just see it getting not as flat. Tighten it. As soon as you tighten it, you can see it sucking down. One more. Okay. See? Really pretty. There we go. Now if you see a little, like, I don't know if you can tell, there's like a little like air bubble. It's not air. There's no more air in here. So what happens when you boil, and you can, steam displaces air. So basically what's left is just empty space. And it's okay. This is not like it's just empty space that's left in here. If you have the proper headspace and enough fluid or liquid in there to create the steam to displace the air, you should be good. And don't worry about little like space gaps, or what people would be like, oh, air gaps. It's not. It's just, it's space. And I didn't debubble the salsa because it's liquidy and it's fine. But if you want to be safe, then go ahead and debubble. Alright, and that is that, and I have a whole lot more to do, and I'm gonna just restart the process all over again. Good Good morning, y'all. This is Miss Stacy again, and it's the next day, and every single one of my jars sealed. I'm so tickled. You never know with these Tattlers. Sometimes you just have to reprocess, and I did not have to do that. But it'd be okay because with tomato products, they get healthier as you cook them. So I could have reprocessed them a couple times with no ill effects. Next, I will be rendering this lard I'm doing right now. And then I have a bunch of onions. And I'll probably make French onion soup and other things. But this made 24 pint-and-a-half jars. I'll be putting up in my cabinets and call it a good canning session there. And we'll just see you on the next video, okay? Thank you. Bye-bye.